which are going to be considered much more high risk because of close contacts amongst adults, which are obviously a higher risk category than the youth, which is really the crux of this new guidance from the county on the 24th and March 2nd. So that's what I wanted to cover this evening. We're all available for any questions should you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Laurel. Councilmember Mattucci has his hand up for a question.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, it's actually not much of a question, more of a little venting session. We're a year into this, and we're still literally screwing around with what the county and the state want. We've gone through many flattening of the curves over the last 12 months. I've suggested in the past that we take a stronger action towards, against, I should say, the county and state. Of course, we didn't, but I bet in retrospect, a lot of us wish that we did. We've destroyed many people's lives, both here in Torrance and across, really across America and across the world, but I can only speak for Torrance. By us not taking a stronger stance, we've contributed to destroying a lot of people's lives. And when are we going to learn that we can't stop viruses? Yeah, we can try to slow it down. We cannot stop viruses. This is like the unstoppable virus, okay? And it's probably no different than any virus that we've had in the past. It might be deadlier, might be more contagious, might be this, might be that. But at what cost? At what cost are we going to destroy a lot of people's livelihood? What we're doing to the kids is evil. Evil. That's the only word I can think of, evil. I see it with my kid. He's 9 years old, and now he's going to start school from 12:30 to 3. You know what that means? That if you're a single parent having to go to work, you can't. If you're a two-income household, only one can go to work. We're putting a lot of strain on people. Then for what? Kids are, I'm not going to say immune to this, but they have a much better chance of getting through this. Most people are getting through this just fine. I'm one of them. I had COVID in December. My whole family had COVID. We all had COVID. I even had a friend that passed away. So I don't want to hear like the comments coming in, insensitive. I have a friend that passed away of COVID. But is it enough to shut down literally a country? Okay? What we did is we put the very thing that I think in America we love is the freedom to actually go out and provide for our families. We chopped that away. This past 12 months has been a disaster. A disaster. It didn't have to be a disaster, but the problem is once you put a very delicate task in the government's hands, any government, starting from here, City Hall, all the way to the federal government, once you put that task in their hands, in the government's hands, you know it's going to be a destructive path. You want to destroy something, give it in the government's hands. Okay, we failed. We failed as a city dealing with this. We failed. We failed. As a city, we failed. Hundreds of businesses shut down in Torrance. Ask the business licensing department how many checks came in, how many are missing, how many haven't renewed, or how many renewed but barely hanging on. It might be closing down. How many places do you drive by do we see for lease signs? So all I can say is that the schools need to open up full time so people can get back to work if they even have a job to go back to. Okay? The businesses, the parks, we're putting all these restrictions, taking the hoops off. For goodness sake, we're America. Keep the hoops up. And you know what? You put a disclaimer. COVID's around. If you get sick, it's on you. For goodness sake, the county, the state, Does anybody making decisions have kids or a lack of income? Kids to take care of at home? No, because our governor has private schools that he's taking his kids to. LA Health receiving almost $500,000 a year. Her paycheck didn't stop at any time. But guess what? My wife's did. My wife's paycheck did stop. Not hers. Not Barbara Ferrer, making almost $500,000 a year. Okay, so yes, I'm upset because I have a 9-year-old at home that's telling me that he's depressed. So yes, I'm upset at our government and the people making these stupid decisions. I'm upset. I'm upset at the fact that we can't figure it out as a city how we're going to push back and get these businesses open. We're still at the highest tier. Do you realize that 14 and 100,000 is basically filling the Rose Bowl full of people, and out of that all those people, 14 of them are infected, and you shut down basically a country. Because LA County is basically the sizes of most countries. You shut down a whole country and basically the whole state right now, because 14 out of the people that went to the Rose Bowl, actually the Rose Bowl has less than 100,000, I think 93,000, but figure 100,000 people is approximately how many people sit in the Rose Bowl. 14 of them are infected, and you shut down everything. Never in the history of the United States have we destroyed so many lives, livelihood, businesses, life savings gone. Had somebody contacted me tonight that they're losing their house. Why? Because COVID shut them down. Shut them down enough to where they can't recuperate. I'm sorry if I get heated about this, but guys, we need to put an end to this. We need to reopen the schools. We need to reopen the businesses at 100%. None of this 2.5 hours in the afternoon thing. We need to get back to work and pay our bills. I do, and I bet you a lot of people out there need to do the same. So let's stop with this, level this, level that, fight back. Because you know what? I think this is going to be prolonged months. Months. They're trickling, throwing us a bone here and there. We need to take action. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Chen.
Thank you, Mayor. I need to take a pause because I wasn't sure what I was thinking, make a transition here. I appreciate Councilmember Mattucci's comment. What I was really getting at is I was actually, very delighted that Mr. John LaRock came and broke the news on how fast we are actually responding